So a queen, she's comfortable setting parameters around behaviors that she will or will not accept, and she confidently removes those who violate her boundaries from her life, okay? A queen, a woman, walking in her queen mentality, in her healed mindset. She is not afraid to show people the door and make room for more. That's something that I am really quickly, incorporating into all of my videos because it is so key for elevating, okay? For dropping the weight so that you can elevate, okay? When you begin to set boundaries, it's going to upset people who were benefiting from your lack of boundaries, okay? Come on. If you have been a victim of people pleasing, maybe not a victim, but if you victimized yourself into thinking that people-pleasing mindset, okay, if you've accepted victimhood as your portion on this earth, which it is not, honey, then you know that people will be upset, or that you know that as a people pleaser, people benefited from your lack of boundaries, from your lack of standards, from your lack of expectations, of not understanding how valuable and precious you are to the kingdom. But once you start to embody that energy, and once you start to implement the boundaries that support who you're becoming, those people will be irritated, agitated, like pissed off. They will be angry. They will be upset that you have the audacity to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself, to protect yourself, to not want to be in their company anymore, to say no and not give an explanation. Honey, these people will be royally pissed off knowing that you are carrying yourself how you should have been carrying yourself the entire time. Let's be honest, okay? We're saving space for learning, for growing, for evolving, okay? I myself was a victim of people pleasing. I was stuck in that prison of saying yes, 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 when I wanted to say no, 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 no. And a simple no would have gotten me out of situations that a yes got me into, okay? And a yes that I said out of confidence, without any confidence. I said yes thinking, hoping that it would validate me in their eyes. Worst decision, honey, to self-abandon, okay? To self-deprecate, to self-sabotage for someone else's betterment? No, we're not accepting that behavior anymore. Another behavior that queens do not accept, absolutely check out that video. That was the previous installment of the Virtuous Woman series. There are behaviors that queens simply do not accept, and that is dimming your light, okay? Lowering your standards, being a people pleaser. Those are all part of the video. I encourage you to check out the rest, okay? And so a woman who is comfortable in this energy, comfortable in this dynamic, comfortable with herself, in her skin, loves herself, honors herself, cherishes herself the way that God sees her, will never allow someone to disrespect her boundaries twice. So we mentioned in the first video that you can't control people's reaction or adherence to your boundaries. You just have to remove them. So if you're struggling with understanding, why aren't people respecting my boundaries? Why aren't people honoring me, respecting me? It's because, honey, you have to model how you want to be treated first, and the right people will follow suit. So let's say you have a boundary around hugging. Let's just, Holy Spirit, please guide me. Let's say you have a boundary around hugging that you do not, okay. Let's use the example from the first video. Come on, Holy Spirit. We had this amazing, beautiful, dynamic desire about love and relationships and marriage in our first video. I'm not going to repeat the homework, honey. Go check out the video, but I am going to repeat the desire. So we spoke about in the homework assignment something that you have to do to be able to begin building boundaries around that desire. And so we said, for an example, I desire a healthy, fulfilling, long-term, God-ordained, God-honoring marriage with my purpose partner in divine union, okay? These are aspirations, desires, dreams that I have for myself and that I desire for you all, okay? And so we have that desire, and now we need to set up boundaries and parameters to enforce that desire so that it is manifested, okay? Because if we say that we want a marriage, but then we start dating casually and sleeping around, we're not supporting that desire. We're not implementing actions that support that desire. Do you understand? So boundaries are set up in place to protect you, to help manifest the vision, help manifest your desires, okay? And it's a way to show people how you want to be treated so that your desire becomes your reality. So let's say we have the desire of marriage, purposeful partnership in divine union. And one of the boundaries that we set up is that we are no longer entertaining, in addition to the other examples I gave in the first video, Another boundary is that we're no longer entertaining full frontal hugs from men, okay? Because maybe in the past that was a stumbling block for you, or that was a point of temptation to be in a full embrace with someone. And so a way that you are manifesting, your utmost desire around marriage is that you're actually going to start to protect your physical space. You're going to put a boundary around your physical space, okay? About how close in contact you come with the opposite sex, okay? So your boundary now is that you're not open. I'm energetically unavailable. Like, this is how I would write the desire. I am energetically, so to support this desire, this boundary must be put in place. I am energetically unavailable for full frontal hugs from men. Okay? Or you can say from men other than my family, or, from men other than whoever you want to exclude or include. Okay? And so now the onus is on you to implement that boundary, to reinforce that boundary, because the world doesn't know that you're not hugging men. How would the world know that? How would every single man who's ever going to approach you know that you don't hug men unless you first show up for yourself energetically, reinforcing that boundary around men? I can't tell you, this is a real example, honey. This is real. It's from my life, okay? I cannot tell you how many times that I have made up in my mind after I got over the people pleasing and succumbing to full frontal hugs from grown men that honestly had ulterior motives, okay? There's two types of hugs, honey, the hug and then the hug, okay? I can't tell you how many times I felt disgusting, or I felt, just really dirty after engaging in a hug that I did not want to be in. And I'm thinking, why have I not stood up for myself? Why am I so incapable of defending myself, or of reinforcing this boundary that I don't want this type of touch in my life? And so the onus is on you. It becomes your responsibility to set the parameters and reinforce it. And you can do that non-verbally. You don't have to get into a confrontation with anyone. So a way that you can, and we're walking you through the process of how boundaries are even imagined, realized, implemented, and reinforced, because it's so important for those especially who struggle with people pleasing right now. I'm really trying to give you the game, honey. Give you some insight that's going to get you to where you need to be, safe and protected, and avoiding confrontation, and still standing up for yourself and embodying like savage divine energy. Okay, divine savage energy. You don't want hugs anymore. It may cause some people who are used to giving you hugs a little bit of whiplash. That's all right, honey. It may upset people who want to hug you but no longer have access to you. That's all right, honey. The people who respect you are going to honor the fact that you don't want hugs anymore. Or maybe you're open to side hugs. So when men go in for a full frontal, honey, you hit it from the side. Okay? You attack from the side. There is a way that when someone's going in for a full frontal, you are church hug right on the side. Okay? And you keep implementing that. You enforce your boundary of no more full frontal hugs with men, and you give them a side hug, you give them a handshake, okay? Some people may hold out their hand, hold out their arm for a hug, and you extend a hand, honey, okay? Silence. You don't have to, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be awkward. It's just, oh. Or when people are coming up to you, like, where's my hug? I know that's a popular one. Where's my hug at? Like, no, thank you. Like, you can say no, thank you. You can step back a little bit. You can offer the hand. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to pattern interrupt. Okay, that's the word I was looking for. So for those who are now starting to implement boundaries, reinforce, establish really, something that I learned that is really helpful is to pattern interrupt. And that's essentially what we've been discussing this whole time, okay? You're going to have to switch up the game when your boundaries are in need of a change. That's good. That's good, Holy Spirit. You are going to have to switch up the game when you are changing your boundaries, when you're changing the way that you energetically show up for yourself. And a surefire way to do that is to pattern interrupt. So if people are accustomed to hugging you from the front, you give them the side, okay? You switch it up, okay? You switch up your pattern, you switch up your approach, you switch up your availability, okay? It doesn't just have to be in the hugging analogy. It can also be, okay, let's just use, this, let's stay with the relationship example and just use a ton of, examples of different dating practices that you may no longer approve of or be okay with because you are saving space for this divine union. You're not answering calls after a certain hour, okay? You're not entertaining texts, DMs, emails, I don't even know, after a certain hour, okay? Your phone's on do not disturb, honey. Phone's on silent. You're getting ready for bed. You're in devotion, like you're praying. You're in intercession. You're praying for your purpose partner, okay? And so the way that you want to show up as a wife means that you have to prepare yourself accordingly. So you holding space, saving space for this marriage, it means that you are now acting like a wife. And that's a whole boundary. That is a whole boundary, honey, to act as a wife. I'm no longer entertaining calls after 9. I'm no longer answering messages after 9:30. I am not on the phone, all quality hours of the night or day, or you know what I mean? Like whatever boundaries you have around phone calls, texts, and DMs, okay? Or, I am, and these are boundaries that some people may be mad at. People are texting you all times of the morning or night, thinking they have access to you. Honey, don't respond. Like, boop. Like just don't even pick up the phone, honey. Just let it ring, or put it on DND. Or you know what I mean? Put it out of your reach. Okay, if you're that tempted. Pattern interrupt, okay? Switch up people's access to you because now you have boundaries that you are honoring so that this desire can manifest in its purest form. That's what I want you all to really understand, is that you are energetically showing up for yourself in a new, evolved, healthy, wholesome way. And people are either going to acquiesce to your new boundaries or they're going to fall away. I don't want you all to start beating yourself up over, oh, no one's respecting my boundaries. Like they keep calling me. Well, that's because you're still pattern interrupting. You're still showing them that you're unavailable for the phone after 9 p.m. And you don't have to give them a text back and say, hey, sorry, I missed your call. You don't have to explain it. When you embody the boundaries, honey, people will get the message. So someone may call you after 9 p.m. You don't respond till the next morning. Just don't respond. It's not an issue. You set the parameters around when you want to communicate with people. If they keep calling you and you have nothing to say, I'd say go ahead and block them. If they're not getting the message and you have been firm in your boundaries, block and delete. Honey, show them the door, make room for more. If people don't want to respect your boundaries, especially after you're implementing new ones, you do have to give people a little bit of time to realize what's happening. Show them the door. So someone calls you after 9, don't pick up. The next morning, however you want to respond, do not apologize for missing their call. Say, good morning, I have some availability later if you want to catch up. I mean, hey, leave it open, no explanation. You don't have to tell them where you were, what you were doing, why you didn't answer. That is your business. I mean, of course, depending on the type of relationship you're in, okay? If this is your husband, Lord have mercy, you know what I mean? But if this is a rando, a friend, a stranger, like someone you're now getting to know, set those boundaries, honey, and set them early so that people understand, oh, she doesn't answer the phone after 9. I need to call earlier. She's not a big texter. I need to put more effort into calling her and talking to her. She is... You know what I mean? Like she's busy, she's productive, she has a lot going on. I need to be more intentional about when I reach out to her because you're not always available now. You pattern interrupted, you've stepped back from being incessantly linked here, and now you're about something. You're about your boundaries, your father's business, you're about embodying new energy. You don't even have time for the jokers who want to mess around after 9 p.m. You have a desire to manifest, honey. And then the people who do not understand nor respect your 9 p.m. cutoff or whatever your new boundaries are, good riddance. Show them the door. And you don't even have to say it. Block and delete, honey. Move on, okay? I'm not saying to ghost people, but there are some people who absolutely deserve the cold shoulder because they simply do not understand that you have removed them from your inner tribe, okay?